You can save €400 by turning your current keyboard into a Davinci Resolve speed editor, and I'm going to show you how. How are you now, and how's she cutting? If you're anything like me, you want a Davinci Resolve speed editor, but you're not sure will you use it enough to justify spending the money on it. Well, I've got the very video for you, because you can turn your current keyboard into a Davinci Resolve speed editor with just a few simple keybinds. So on the last video I mentioned about how you can speed up your editing on the edit page using your mouse using 2 simple keybinds. You can check out that video right here, somewhere up there on screen. And that method really does speed things up, especially when you need to cut down large amounts of footage on your timeline. But this way is best suited when you have a ton of B-roll and you need to get through the B-roll quite quickly. This is a process that I've come up with to give myself a free speed editor essentially. It'll cut down so much time when you're getting your initial selects from the original footage. And this way actually cuts out the use of any mouse completely, so your hands can remain on the keyboard and you'll absolutely blaze through your footage. Now this technique is specifically designed to the cut page, but if you were to get the speed editor, it will be as well. I know some of you mightn't be bothered with the cut page, especially if you don't have a speed editor, but I think if you give this technique a try, I'd be willing to bet you'd use the cut page a hell of a lot more. So what we're going to cover in today's tutorial is why you need this, what is the current problem inside Davinci's cut page that kind of spurred me on to create this workaround, how to remap certain keys in order to use the keyboard as a speed editor, and then also how to use that keyboard when editing to speed yourself up. Now I'm going to be demonstrating this on a real life project that I'm working on at the moment. I did a road trip in my van from Ireland along the south coast of Spain and into Portugal and all the way back. So if you're interested in seeing that video down the line, do subscribe and yeah, you'll see the results of it. So here we are in the editing page. What we're going to do is we're going to come over to the cut page. There's going to be all your footage right here. So you've got your B-roll folder right here. Click on the first clip. We're going to scrub through the clip and we're going to mark an in point and we're going to mark an out point. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to press append and then it'll go into the timeline. Now, if you can see down here, if I append, the clip will always end up going to the end of the timeline, which is what you want. You don't want to like insert it and it end up like in the middle of the clip. So this is where you run into the first problem with Davinci's cut page, in my opinion. I want to get to the next clip, but in order to do so, I need to drag my mouse back up and then I need to click the next one. So there's 2 problems with this if you want to work fast. When you need to go through a lot of clips, this can really slow you down and it can actually end up hurting your wrist after a while too if you've been editing all day. The second issue is you have to keep moving your mouse over to the next clip. I wanted to find a way to be able to get to the next clip without using my mouse and just use a click of a button so I could keep my hands on the keyboard. And unfortunately, Davinci doesn't have this. So to do this, you actually have to go back to the source tape right up here. And then this gives you the tape for all the clips combined. What I don't like is you can't zoom into this, so it's really hard to be precise. I know people might say the cut page isn't for precision, but I think it's best to get as close as possible. Otherwise, you're just making more work for yourself down the line. So once you have the source tape view up, you can then use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move to the next clip. It would have been nice if Davinci had a hotkey to just go to the next clip and then bypass the source tape altogether if you didn't want to use it. And because the arrow keys works in the source tape, it should work in the singular clip view as well, in my opinion. So I just don't understand why they don't have that. In my opinion, this is way too many keys to do something simple. I wouldn't have minded this so much if I could kind of zoom in on the source tape once getting to the next clip, but it just felt like a lack of precision in my opinion. So here's my workaround for this. So I've remapped my tilde key to toggle between the source clip view and the source tape view. Then I'll work off the clip view, I'll mark my in and my out, and I'll append it to the timeline. Then I'll switch back to the source tape view with the flick of one key, the tilde key in my case, and then I speed it up using my shuttle keys. And then once I'm in the next clip, I hit the tilde key again to go back to the clip view, and then I mark my in and out, and then I append again. And then basically I'll just rinse and repeat this. So I can do this whole batch of clips here a lot quicker and without my hands leaving the keyboard to use a mouse or a trackpad or whatever. If I don't have to be overly precise either, I could just leave it on the source tape and mark in and out and then shuttle speed over and back throughout. This is essentially what the speed editor does, and I found this to be just massively quicker, and it just helps me stay in the flow when I just have to go through a ton of footage. But what do you think? Should I buy the speed editor? I could do a giveaway with the studio version that comes free with it. I'd love to see Blackmagic Design implement a way to zoom into that source tape. That way I wouldn't feel the need to toggle between the 2 views, but this is the only way around it that I know. Or even better, a hotkey where I could just go to the next clip without having to use the source tape at all. Just go from clip to clip to clip. I don't know why it's not in it. It should be. The reason that I use tilde is I have my shuttle keys to Q, W, and E instead of the traditional JKL, and it's just an easy reach for me then. I also have my tab key set to go to the start of the clip, so when I switch back to the clip view, if I went too far in the source tape, I can just go back to the start in one click without having to like triple tap the reverse key. Again, you're welcome to use whatever keys you want, but these work very well for me placement wise, and then I don't have to leave the keyboard. So to wrap up the steps, you're going to hotkey a button to switch between your singular source clip and your source tape. Then you're going to use your shuttle keys to fast forward through the source tape footage. When you get to the next clip, you're going to switch back to the singular, then you're going to mark your in and out with precision, then you're going to toggle back to your tape view, then you're going to shuttle using fast forward again to get to the next clip, and then you're just going to rinse and repeat. And that's just basically the only kind of workaround for now, but it does save quite a few pound on a speed editor. So up to yourselves. So this is Shhlinky. This is why he's called Shhlinky, as you can see. So if you want to take your editing even further, I have a video about the edit page and how you can set up your mouse to make the edit page as quick as possible as well for you. So you can check that up. I'll have it linked up somewhere around there anyway. Yeah, I'm curious to know if any of you implement any kind of spurious workarounds to get the most out of your editing. If you want to comment down below and just, I suppose, share any tips and tricks you have yourselves, and sure, it might help someone out in the comments. It'd be great to see it. And if anyone does know about how to get to the next clip while being in that singular clip view, do let me know, because that would sort out a lot of my problems. I could just buy a speed editor as well, and sure, I might yet, but for the time being, this works quite well. The cat needs the snuggles. Does anyone have cats? And can you do this with your cat? Because this cat is more like a dog than a cat.